What is your name today?
I don't know. What does it say?
Mendicogi?
What?
Oh,
Why'd you get quiet when you were reading it? I can't hear you.
Ndigi? Ndigi?
What?
What is that?
Can you spell it out, please?
NND=G?
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, then I have no idea. I kind of just hit random keys and hit enter.
Well, great job. You
I
created a new language.
sure, sure.
I don't know about you, but this week has, like, flown by. It has been such a busy week, and, like, each day has kinda, like, dragged by, but then I'm like, "Holy crap, it's already almost Friday," because 'cause we're recording this on Thursday, but
My week, I don't know. Yesterday went by really slow. Today went by pretty quick. I'm hoping Friday goes by fairly quickly. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
mine should. I still have so much to do, like, work-wise at my barista simulator job. I I have a lot to do, like, I have some promises that I've made that I need to fulfill, but I've literally not had time this week, and I said I was gonna do it on Monday, and I just could not do it, and so now I have to do it sometime this week.
Promises like what? Like you're gonna find more coffee to make, or like
No, it's a program I'm putting together, for, uh coffee master program basically, to teach everybody about coffee and stuff. A lot of people are interested in doing it. And I promised I would put together all the information for everybody. So I'm gonna make everybody little packets because they have to do some of it at home. Um, so I'm gonna put together packets on how to do it and like organize it so it's really easy to follow and that they can get it done. But it's my biggest priority right now because it's something they really care about. And I feel like my team right now needs some passion because it's been a hard summer.
I thought that you were saying that the training now includes the coffee master stuff.
Yeah, but
Like you have to do it.
there's only, like, 2 people new enough at my store to have done that. Most of my team is, like, long-term employees. So, like, their training didn't
They've
happen.
been they're long-term prisoners. Got it. I got
No, elo
you.
no, literally, so I told somebody, "Hello, this is Mindless Prattle." I should introduce us
Okay, how
before we
about
get
you
too into
finish
it.
your story first? Jeez.
But I told somebody today that, like, sometimes this job is like an abusive ex-boyfriend. Like, when you finally leave it, you're like, "Damn, I should have done it sooner." And then you're like, "Dang, but we had some good times together."
What do you mean sometimes? That is not a sometimes thing. They're either abusive or they're not. It's not like, oh, he only hit me once today, so it was a good day. No, it's still abusive. You should leave. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you're brainwashed too. I don't know what you're
I'm
doing over there.
I don't know. I don't like doing new things.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. Because you're like, oh, what will happen? Will I have fun? Oh, how terrible of you to have fun with a new thing.
well, I also just don't think I'll ever really enjoy a job. Like, I genuinely wasn't made to work a 9 to 5. I don't know if it's my parents' fault because, they had their own business and they always said stuff like, "If you work for someone else, you're never really making money." But I just don't enjoy working like a traditional job. That's why I'm
You've only
writing so
had
much.
terrible jobs. I'm just going to be honest.
That is very true, and you know what's funny is I'm capable of so much more. I don't know if, like, anybody else feels like this, but I definitely am an overachiever. It's like big fish in a small pond type of thing, like, I know I'm capable of a
I
lot
like
more,
that
but I
just
like where
all
I
of a
am.
sudden you're just like, "Oh, I can achieve so much more." I've been telling you that for years. Years I've been saying quit your stupid jobs and just work on other stuff that you wanna work on. And
But I
all
am
of a
doing
sudden you're
that,
just like, "Now I've realized it. Oh, if only someone had told me." We did. Several people
and
repeatedly.
I don't wanna quit, like, um, I'm writing, but writing can take a while for you to see any monetary gain. Like, I have a general plan of what I'm gonna do. I set up my Ingram Sparks account. It's a website that helps you distribute your novel to big companies like Target, Amazon, what is Barnes& and Noble, all this
Did
stuff,
you just
and
forget the name of the
I
bookstore?
did. I forgot the name of Barnes& and Noble.
They
Um,
they only sell books and you're like, "Nah, I don't know what that
but
is."
you can upload and format your book for free on their website, and then you can distribute it to those big retailers for free as well, and it's a really great service. Like, it used to cost, like, $20 or something like that, but now it's free for, like, the first 2 edits or something. So I got it all set up, and I'm glad I took care of it early because it took a while. Like they asked me for all sorts of information, and I had to read all these like legal agreements and stuff. So I did that, and I'm at 53,000 words. This is the biggest thing I've ever written in my entire life. Like it's crazy to think about. It's been like 6 months of writing now, and I could have written faster if I wanted to, but I just wasn't really inspired for certain parts of it. But like the past I wanna say a week or 2, I've just all I could think about is writing, and, like, I get home and I just wanna write, like, I haven't streamed or done anything like that, like, I just write and write and write and write.
Yeah, I have noticed you've been, writing a lot more recently as well.
Yeah, like, I'm at work, and while I'm working, it's just, like, scenes playing through my head and, like, things I wanna write and things I wanna
You
talk
mean you're
about.
distracted at work? I'm telling your boss. I'm
It's like
writing you
I'm
up.
daydreaming
I'm
basically,
sorry,
but
ma'am, you haven't been paying attention at work. We're gonna have to let you go. Ah, it's a shame. It's a real shame,
I
really.
I literally can't focus on anything, like, I no matter I'll be going to bed and I'm like, "Oh, I should write about this next." Or, like, "This is a scene I wanna write," but I have no clue I'm gonna get there because where I'm at is kind of, like, dark and depressing, so
You're like, "I have this great scene. No idea how we're getting there." Anyway.
I a ton of innocent people were slaughtered, and
Well,
I cried
spoilers,
while writing
gosh,
it.
I'm trying to keep myself out of the loop so that I can read it for the first time and
It's
be
like I'm
amazed.
writing a D&D campaign, really, like, that's kind of how I am going about things. I'm like, "What would I do if I were playing a video game right now? Like, what's the craziest thing that could happen?" And I don't know, it's kind of fun. I'm trying not to judge myself too bad because some of it's not great, but I know I can polish it up later.
Speaking of, D&D, you played, Baldur's Gate 3 yet?
No, you said I couldn't you said you didn't want me to play it, but I want it so freaking bad.
You can't play it, okay? You're only in it for the character
Why?
creation.
That's
That's all
not
like,
true.
you
I've
just
also
make the
seen
character and
gameplay.
I will play it. It's fine.
What's it so exciting about Baldur's Gate besides the character customization is that they have, like, 50,000 different, like, occurrences that can happen. So, like, you will never get the same game ever. Like, always
Well, like,
new.
I'm trying to ask you if we can play it together, and every time you're just like, "No, I have to play it." You haven't actually looked to see
It
if it's
says it has
multiplayer or
online
not.
co-op.
See? Exactly. Like, that's all I'm saying. All I'm asking for is a little, like, I don't know, like, inclusion in this relationship, and I feel like you're just excluding me because you feel like I'm not creative enough or something.
It is gigantic.
What is gigantic?
The game, it says you could have to have 150 gigs of space.
Yeah, that's like a standard freaking game now. I don't know why games are so large. It actually
Skyrim's like
it
70 gigs.
really it really makes me angry how large new games are. Like
Also,
it's
sorry, we can talk
ridiculous.
about that in a second. I wanna keep going over the recommended graphics because the minimum required graphics card is a GTX 970. The
Okay.
recommended is an NVIDIA 2060 Super.
Yeah, like I have what
I
do I have?
don't know if my
I
computer
have
will be able to run it.
I have a laptop like 3050, which is like a 20 something equivalent. Like I'm sure I may be able to run it on minimum specs. Like I don't know. But that's also the thing is I don't wanna buy it for 70 or $60, whatever it is right now for my laptop, and then my not laptop not be able to run it, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, is there like, isn't there something that on Steam that'll show you if your computer can handle it? Or does that not exist? Because it should.
I thought so, but I have no idea, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I thought at one point it did, but I haven't seen or looked at Steam in a while, so who knows?
But can I tell you, I saw the cutest video earlier. This guy, he was a black man. It's relevant to the story. He
Is it? What a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
start.
Because
What a
he
start to
had,
the story.
really big dreadlocks, like, huge dreads, and he was going through the character customization, he was really disappointed, he's like, "They're not gonna have any dreads," looking through, he goes, "Look, we got some braids, but no dreads, no dreads," and he gets to the bottom, and they had, like, these really thick ass dreads that looked just like his, and the smile on this man's face when he could make a character look just like him, it just made me so happy. He was like, "Look, they've got it," and I was like, "Dang," like, I wanna play this game so badly, like, ah.
I'm about to adopt the philosophy. I've been thinking about this of playing as a female character.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah, because I've heard it put best. I've heard it put best as this: if you're gonna be staring at the backside of something all day, it may as well make it some cute woman. You know what I mean? Like, may as well.
Yeah, big mood.
Yeah, like may as well just stare at some fake woman's ass for the whole game instead of some
I
dude's
just
ass. It's all
Well,
you know.
you can make a companion too. So, like, if you wanted to make yourself and then have, like, a female companion, you could also do that, or,
Yeah, but you don't play as the companion as much. I mean, like, they're there. Yes, you can control them, but they're not the main person. May as well, you know.
I'm just so excited because I also like, there's some horny shit in there too. I saw this, clip on TikTok, and it was like, this person I didn't know it just started right at this weird point. I don't know what happened prior to this, but this, character is telling the player's character to, he was like, "Get on your knees." And then it said, "Roll for" I don't know what it was, but it was like, "Roll for something check," and they failed it. But
You
I was
just
like,
miss
"What
your knees. You're like,
happened?"
oh nope.
But it was
I
like
don't
in a
know. I only
sexy way,
watched.
not in like a "I'm gonna kill you"
Oh,
way, you know?
oh, okay. I only watched the first. I think it was like 10 minutes of gameplay. Which, by the way, it said first 10 minutes of gameplay, but there's like a 5 minute cutscene to open the game. Like it's
I haven't
long.
seen the
It's
opening
crazy.
cutscene or any gameplay. I've mostly just seen, like, scenes of people creating their characters. I've
Exactly.
seen a
You're
little bit of
only in it for
gameplay.
character
I saw
creation. Don't
one where
lie.
somebody used the talk to animals spell and cast it on this really grumpy cat in an inn. I saw that gameplay. That was funny. But I really wanna play it. Can I get it?
No, you don't have the mech recommended specs, obviously. Neither do I, but
Excuse
you
me.
know. Did what'd you say?
I said I burped a little, so I said, "Excuse me," because I didn't know if it came out.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else. uh,
Okay,
what?
did I talk to you have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No, I've only seen clips of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
I just remembered because I have this little mantis thing you got me from McDonald's or wherever.
I got you. Like I went out of my way. No, I got a Happy Meal with some points and they gave it to me. But yes, I got it specifically for you.
Okay, I watched it last week sometime, I don't remember when. It's such a good movie, and I had watched a review, like a completely spoiler-free review or spoiler-full review. Sorry, I can't talk good.
You watched all of the spoilers and then watched the movie?
Yeah, I don't like to not know what's gonna happen.
you
I get
you're the
anxious.
worst. You're so bad at that. You're like, I want to know all the twists and turns and then watch the movie. Why? What fun is
But
that?
so I
That's so
watched Amanda the
ugh.
Jedi's review of it, and I was like, "Okay, I'm prepared." No, I was not prepared. I sobbed my eyes out for, like, a good 70% of the movie, like, not in a bad way, like, it wasn't, like, a bad type of sad emotion, it was really good, like, the story is I loved the story, I loved where they left it off, it felt like a good in-between film, not like a filler film, but, like, you got a lot of characterization of everybody. Mantis, love her in this film, like 10 out of 10. And then I think this is the last one that what's his name? Batista, Dave Batista. This is the last one he's gonna be in, I believe. But yeah, it was just a really good film. I don't know if you want me to like spoil it or not though.
No, why would I mean, I won't watch it till forever from now, but I don't care enough to like get spoilers from you. Why would I want that? Why would like even if I had the off chance to watch it, why would I want the to know what's going to happen beforehand? That's so dumb.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're the
Um,
only one that's like, I hate it when they don't tell me what's going on. It's a TV show, it's a movie. You're supposed to not know. That's the point. They want you to keep watching. Like,
yes. But yeah, I would recommend watching it. It's good.
I know it like the audio says you're coming through, but I can barely hear you. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna turn you up.
Sorry, let me adjust my posture. Maybe that's
Yeah, your back wasn't straight, so I couldn't hear you.
well, did you also see about the Barbie movie getting banned in several countries?
Yeah, but what that was always gonna happen. Like that got banned before it came out. Like it wasn't.
Mhm.
Who cares?
Well, the like, it's been banned, like, more, like, in the past, like, week. So Kuwait banned Barbie because it said it promotes ideas and beliefs that are alien to the Kuwaiti society and public order. Without further elaboration, according to Today, Lebanon has not yet banned it, but he did say it was found to contradict values of faith and morality and promote homosexuality and sexual transformation. Not
Why?
sure
Because it
where
was the
it did
color
that.
pink? There was no homosexuality in there. The whole thing was about straight relationships. What are you talking about?
I will
Okay.
say that, there was, like, a whole uproar 'cause a bunch of people got mad, because one of the Barbies is a transgender woman, and they were, like, literally tearing apart just, like, cis women and as well because everybody was trying to guess which Barbie it was, and nobody could guess. So,
Yeah,
that
whatever.
might be
I
why.
really don't care. Like, your country wants to ban it, ban it. You wanna watch it, go to a different country. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, I don't it
I
doesn't
think it's
matter.
interesting,
It's a
like, the
Barbie movie.
reasons
Who cares?
why. Like Vietnam banned it because they showed China's territorial claim over much of South China Sea, um, and so Vietnam banned it because it
Right.
says it
Now
contains
that
the offending image of the
that
giant
would make
grass line.
sense because 'cause they're trying to talk about the actual map and that, right? Like, they're trying to tell you that the world is one way instead of another way. That's fine. You're
Which
disputing
Warner Bros. Did
territory.
respond to, though.
But
They said the map is a childlike crayon drawing. It was not intended to make a statement, like, basically apologizing, saying, like, that's not what they intended to do.
even then, who cares? It's a map. Like, if you're in fucking China or country or whatever, and you think, "Oh my gosh, the Barbie movie affirms that we own this part of the South China Sea, therefore we do." That is the dumbest argument, and no one should take you seriously if that's your argument. So who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, you used the wrong map in your film, so we're not going to show the film in our country. Go for it. Like, my bad, bud. Like, I don't care. Like, we didn't care about your film. We don't care about your territory. Like, it doesn't matter.
I feel that way about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, like, our planet is dying. Is this, like, really what we need to fight
But
about?
I own this part of the water over here. I don't care. Go for it. You do you, bud.
Oh my god, what the sorry. There's a gnat, like, flying around my face. It's ticking me off.
Good. I just watched the movie Nimona. Have you seen that?
No, what is it?
It's a Netflix movie. It's a little animated movie about
Oh, your Netflix
it's
still works?
it's like a combination between um like a medieval movie, but they have technology because they've been living in a medieval lifestyle for like 1,000 years. And this knight gets framed for murder, so he teams up with a monster, but he's supposed to slay the monster because he's a knight. So then they got to go through this whole thing. It's great. I
A
Let me
lot.
tell you, if you haven't seen the trailer for it or like things about it, what Nimona is great. You should go watch it. It is very sad towards the end, but like it's fantastic.
How do you spell it?
I'd watch again. Nimona. Nimona.
Hmm.
It's on Netflix, but then again, I don't have Netflix, so you could just Google it and it should pop up. And
Oh, okay, I was like, "How'd you watch it?"
I don't have Netflix, so definitely just Google that
He
on
said,
the side
"Without
on the
any
download.
further explanation."
You can just Google things, and if you find the
You
answer you're looking
know,
for,
maybe
Google did
you
its
need
job.
to sail the open seas to find this movie.
Yeah, but no, it's a really good movie. Like the character, she's great. She's super funny. Um, like there, I forgot that I saw a scene actually of it on YouTube earlier today, and then I remembered it when I got back from the gym, so I watched it this afternoon. It's actually really fun. It's not like it's not very like unpredictable. They got a lot of things that are like, oh, this is gonna happen. You already know it's gonna happen, but it's still pretty funny in its own way. So I liked it.
Yeah, I think I'll check it out.
If anything, just go watch like one of their trailers. It's pretty great.
Have you watched a lot of movies lately?
No, that's actually the first movie I watched since we went and saw Barbie. So
Yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy was the first one I watched. I told you about it yesterday, but I started watching this, Korean, like, horror crime drama type thing yesterday
Was
on
that a
Hulu.
movie or is that a series?
It's a series. It's a
Okay,
Hulu
I thought you were
original.
watching a movie about it. That's my bad.
No, you're good. It's really long. Like the first episode was like I think over an hour, just barely. Um, like the whole first episode felt like a movie. I was like, dang, this was just one episode. I watched two and then passed out. But it's really good. It's in Korean. The acting is 10 out of 10. Um, and I know like in Korea they value like your skin health a lot, but every single one of these people looks like fucking models. Like their skin is perfect, beautiful, like 10 out like wow, like I wish my skin looked like that. I know that's not like the point of the plot, but like I was really taken aback by how good everybody looked. Even like there's really old people in the film, they looked fantastic. Like I want whatever they're drinking, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
what do you have? I'll take
what's the
10.
water like over there? Please give me some. But I really like it so far. It's about basically, it starts out you see this folklore professor is, batting himself down in his office, like putting protective stuff everywhere, because an evil spirit has attached itself to him. And he hears his mom calling and saying that she's scared and that the spirit's trying to get to her too and to let him in. And he opens the door and his self is standing there. Like he sees himself. Super creepy. One thing I really appreciate about, like, foreign horror is they're not allowed to show a lot of gore most of the time, like, a lot of those countries have stricter
Yeah, yeah,
around
with
blood and
blood,
stuff.
yeah, mhm.
So they're required to be a lot more creative in the ways that they scare you, and that shit is so
I mean,
fucking
they're not required to, but they need to, like, in order to make it better.
yeah, and like I said, it was good, like, he just opens the door and he sees himself standing there and he goes his, like, evil self, demon self, whatever, goes, "You open the door." Oh my god, chills. Oh, it's creepy as fuck. I like it, but it's not super scary. It's like you can keep watching it because there's like it follows several different characters. Like the main character is that guy's daughter. He leaves the cursed object to her. So she touches it and now she's possessed or being held onto by the spirit. What a dick move though, right?
Did he know it was cursed?
Yes. 100% knew it
Oh,
was
well, then
cursed.
get rid of that. I don't
I
want
think
this
there's
thing, you can
I
have
think there's gonna be
it.
something about, like, he wants her to help the ghost because there's another professor helping her who's like, "The way you get rid of a ghost is by talking to it, learning its name, figuring out what it wants." But this is an evil, dangerous spirit, so, like, I don't know what she's supposed to do. He was like,
Wait,
"Don't go through doorways."
their thought process is, "Oh, normal ghosts, you just talk to them and they go away. So this murderer ghost, you have fun with it, little kid. Tell us what it wants
Yeah,
later."
so, like, they encountered, another ghost, like, a group of teenage boys. It ties into a subplot, but they encounter a group of teenage boys who are being haunted by a transfer student who killed himself because his dad was abusing him. But it turned out like that kid's parents were hiding a daughter, like they didn't record her birth, like they were keeping her locked up in a basement and they were abusing her and the son. And the son basically died because he wanted to get his sister like to safety. Um and so those boys were being haunted because he wanted his sister to be found out about. And one of the boys ended up dying, but it was an accident. He got really scared.
What a roundabout way to save your sister. Like, just go stab your parents, man, when
Well,
they're
it
sleeping.
showed in
Come on now.
like a back well, they're like middle school boys, so they're kinda smaller and slight, and the dad
So
character was a lot
what?
bigger.
At some
Um,
point, your dad is sleeping, and you can find a kitchen knife. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think in other countries they solve a lot of problems like that. I don't know if that would occur to them, Like, it said he reported
I
it,
mean,
and the dad
you
beat
know.
him to nearly half to death for reporting it. So, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know yet because 'cause I'm only on, like, episode 2, So there's a lot of, like, questions that are coming up, and I don't think I'll have the answer for a few episodes, but it's good.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it, the
fair.
vibes are on.
Oh, you know what? We lied. We did see other movie. We watched, Red the other day. You remember?
Oh, Turning Red, I forgot about
Turning
that.
Red. Is it Turning Red or is it just Red?
It's Turning Red.
Turning Red? Okay. Yeah, we watched that. It was good. It was funny. There were some plot holes that I was skeptical about. Like I didn't understand some of the stuff that happened, but I liked it overall. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was super funny, and then I thought, as a movie about puberty, I think it did a good job of, like, balancing between, like, this is a really obvious metaphor, and this is still a silly kids movie, like, it wasn't
Well,
too much.
yeah, I think it was good because they also addressed in there that they also had puberty, but this was something separate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was like the same things were happening. Like, oh, it's gonna happen a lot, and we're gonna have to like calm you down once a month or whatever. That it was very like, is this not the same thing? Like, I don't, I
And
don't
I just
understand it.
and it was so funny watching her, as an adult female, like, watching her, like, grunt and, like, and, like, her stomach's in pain. I was like, "Yep, gonna
I
be
don't
tapping it for a while."
understand why you wouldn't tell your child, hey, by the way, at some point in the next few years, you're gonna turn into a panda. Like,
Yeah, especially
what?
because it was a part of their culture. You think, like, mom would
Like,
sit her down like, "Hey, during puberty, we've talked to you about what's gonna happen to your body, but our family has a special secret as well that, like, is passed down through generations. Like, you might turn into a fucking giant panda." Like,
also, yeah, like, what if that had happened at school? Like, what if the first time she turned into a panda at school, what were you gonna do? And they were like, we need to keep this secret above all else. Okay, but like, you didn't prepare her in any way.
yeah. I did like how they included that they had to pay back all the damages at the end, though. I thought that was
Yes, what the I was like, "There's no way you just get away with that, right?" And she's like, "Oh, we're at like 200 they're at like 20 grand out of like 100 million." And I was like, "Bruh,
yeah.
you're gonna be in debt for generations."
And the movie takes place in, like, 2002, so whew, it's a different
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
money back
also,
then.
like, why would okay, if there's a family of people that can turn into giant pandas and they destroy one of your stadiums, why would you be like, "You know what? You guys are gonna pay us back," instead of, "You know what? Why don't we study you and find out why you turn into pandas?" Like, what that's what I would be doing.
I also think they can make that money back a lot faster by charging premium prices to go to, like, children's birthday parties or celebrity events, like,
Yeah, they're like, "Would you like to come to our temple?" And you're like, Why wouldn't you just, like, go on tour as, like, the
"Ah, get
traveling
butts."
panda family, you know? Like, ooh. And they're like, "We can't control our emotions, therefore we don't wanna be pandas because we might hurt people." And it's like, "What? You can't control your emotions because you suck as a family and you like, it's all they're mad at each other all the time, but don't wanna talk about it." Like, that's why you suck at controlling your emotions.
Honestly, but, oh, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn, there goes my
You
thought.
nailed it.
When we started Mindless Prattle, we were immediately overwhelmed with all of the different tasks that come with starting a podcast. The audio, video, website hosting, editing services. It's enough to make anybody dizzy. If you want to start your own podcast, that might be one of the biggest things holding you back. Editing and production can be a huge learning curve and was what made me the most nervous when we started this podcast. Don't worry, you don't need to become an expert audio engineer to run a great sounding show. If you head on over to mindlessprattle.com/alitu, that's ALITU, you'll find a great little web app that was designed to make processing, editing, and publishing super easy. Alitu lets you create a podcast without knowing anything about audio production. It'll do conversion, leveling, noise reduction, and everything else at a press of a button. Finally, you can either download the finished episode or have it published directly from the app. So don't let editing and production get in the way of sharing your message with the world. Get started with Alitu on the monthly plan at $38 or the annual plan at $380 that will give you 2 free bonus months. You also get a 7-day free trial with either plan. So head to the link and give it a shot. Head on over to mindlessprattle.com/alitu to create the podcast of your dreams. That's mindlessprattle.com/ALITU. I mean, if can we go back to Baldur's Gate for a second?
No, we passed that. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, I just wanted to say about Baldur's Gate, apparently other gaming developers are angry about this game's success because they said it's setting, like, the bar too high basically for what a video game
Too
can
high for what? What are you talking about? They're like,
for
"Oh,
getting a full
no,
game
it
for
came out
$60.
and there's not like 100 bugs, there's only a few, and it has like, I don't know, like a full story in it, not like a 30 like not like a 2 or 3 hour story." And then they're like, "We'll be back next time." And you're like, "Oh, thank goodness," you know? Are there microtransactions in it?
Nope, nothing.
What a choice. Do you see people are mad at what was it, Ubisoft? Because apparently Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to have microtransactions in it. And people were really upset and they're like, this goes against all your claims that say that this Assassin's Creed is going to get us back to the roots of the series. And you're like, just because there's microtransactions does not mean it's not going to be like gameplay and storylines that are from like the roots of the series, like that
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like or dislike microtransactions. I think so long as they're like an optional add-on, like you can't buy your way to level 100,
well,
you
that's
know?
what I was gonna say. I think as long as you can buy like aesthetic things or things that you think look cool, go for it all day long. That's your choice to buy those things. But the second you can buy like a gun that shoots better than other guns that you can't get, that you can only get
Yeah.
by buying it, that's when you're like, all right, now you're paying to win. Like that's when it's different
Yeah,
for
like
me.
when I was really into Elder Scrolls Online, I used to have like their monthly subscription thing, and it would just give you like a certain amount of the in-game like store currency. And I bought houses, mounts, I bought cute clothing. I had like a whole ass guild and everything. I was really into that game for a fucking long
Yeah, but it didn't like
ass time.
necessarily give you an advantage
But yeah,
over
it didn't give
other
you an
players,
advantage except for you could buy like boosts if you wanted to, like, oh, you could get like bonus XP or stuff like that, but nothing that like nobody else couldn't get through grinding.
Yeah, that stuff
Oh,
I'm fine with, but
sorry, your
what's
mic
up?
got super loud all of a sudden.
I think a motorcycle rode by outside.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, did I tell you? Okay, so last week I had to go to the post office to get my I-9 verification, the right to work in the U.S. Right? I had to
Mhm.
go get that verified. So I set up that appointment, and in order to do it, you need like forms of ID, like two different forms of ID or three or whatever the requirement is, right? But one of them is just a passport. So if you bring in a passport, it counts as some forms of ID and you're good. Like that's all the documents you need. And I was like, okay, well, I'll get my passport and be good to go. So my appointment was at noon. At like 10:30, I finished up what I was working on, all that stuff at the apartment. I showered at about 11 o'clock. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my passport and finish up getting ready so I can head over there because it was like a 15-20 minute drive, something like that. Um, so I grabbed the safe, I put the key in, I hit the buttons to type in the code, and none of the lights come on. I was like, what's going on here? So I hit the button some more, nothing. I was like, oh no, the batteries are dead. Like, oh. So I'm like, you can't turn the key. None of the buttons work. In order to replace the batteries are on the inside. I was like, oh no, I've left this sitting here too long. The batteries are dead. So I'm like, well, all right, let's Google how to open this. Oh my gosh, the manufacturer's tutorial on how to open it and replace the batteries when they're dead is, hey, leave it open when the batteries are dying so that you can come back in a little bit with batteries.
What?
I was like, what? There's no way to open it when the batteries are dead without like breaking the safe open.
Damn.
I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me right now." I was like, "I gotta go in like 30 minutes. If I miss this appointment, like I'm gonna have to reschedule the whole thing. It's gonna be a pain." And I was like, "This is ridiculous." So I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there on the bed, like
Barbecue
looking.
sauce on my titties. Sorry.
I'm sitting there looking at the safe, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like I can't open it. I can't turn the key. I can't. It's broken. So finally, I was like, you know what? Desperate times, and I picked up the safe. Uh, and well, I didn't pick it up. Anyway, I held it with one hand and I took it with the other hand and I hit it as hard as I could and nothing happened. And I was like, well, third time's the charm. So I hit it a second time And wouldn't you know it, I don't know what happened, but the safe went beep beep. And I was like, what the what? So I typed in the code real quick and opened it. And I was like, oh my Lord, it opened. And I replaced the batteries before I took anything out of there. I was like, I don't know what
You
just
know,
happened, but
if the
thank you.
battery died, 100% the cat's fault. I'm sorry, I've had to learn to keep the closet shut more often because sometimes I leave it open like a crack or something. I thought I was fucking
He's hitting
insane one
on
night.
it.
One night, I was getting fucking nervous, okay? Like, I kept hearing beeping. I was like, "What the fuck is this beeping sound?" Like, the cat was standing on the safe, and she kept, like, walking over it and causing it to beep because it was like, "That's not the code, bitch." I was like, "Get out of
That's
there."
not the
So she
code.
probably ran the battery down just walking all over it all the time. I was like, "Oh my god." I thought I
Yeah,
was
it was I
crazy.
was like, I thought the batteries were low, but I didn't know they were, like, dead. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy."
And, OCD brain, I was like, "Oh my god, someone's, like, trying to take pictures in here." And I'm like, "Ho what? Ripley, what?" Like, she makes
Someone's trying to take pictures by beeping. Like,
like, what if
"Beep,
it's
beep,
like
beep.
a camera?
Was that 3 pictures? What was that?
Yeah.
Does your camera
Sometimes
beep? Whoa."
sometimes having, like, irrational intrusive thoughts is kind of fun because, like, I'll have a thought and then immediately I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" That's so out of the realms of reality that I can't even, keep going down that train of thought because the rational part of me is like, "Bitch, what the hell? Where did that come
I
from?"
have the same sort of thing. Okay, so, like, every I don't know, like, every weekend, like, Saturday or Sunday when I don't have work and, like, I get up a little bit later, because I sleep in a little bit. If I go to shower and it's later than the normal time that I leave, every time if I hear, like, somebody else leave or a door open and close in the hotel, I'm just like, "Ah, well, rooms or the housekeeping came in, and, they're about to see me getting naked in this shower right now." And every time I, like, open the door just slightly, and I'm like, Is anybody out there? Nope, we're good." And then I close
Gonna
it
start
back
giving
up.
you extra visits.
Dude, it was the every time I think it, because it's like my upstairs neighbor or somebody will close the door while I'm in the shower, and I'm like, "Oh, no, they think I'm gone because I'm normally at work at this time, even though it's Saturday." I'm like, "They think I'm gone. They're gonna come in here and try and clean while I'm showering," and it freaks me out every time, and then I'm like, "It doesn't matter. I have towels. I'll just walk out in a towel. It'll be fine."
I do that too, but with like my car alarm. Every time a car alarm goes off, I think it's mine.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with the fact that the apartments, have a parking lot. Like, if we were in a house and we would clearly, like, hear our cars right outside, I think it'd be much different.
No, even when we lived in Vegas and stuff, same thing. It just triggers like an anxiety response because my car alarm is so fucking loud and annoying. Like, I feel like some car alarms, it's like, okay, your alarm's going off, but it's like, all right, not too bad. My car alarm is like a,
It
oh,
you
oh,
reminded me of
hate
this
it.
story. There was a maybe you told this story, but, um, I saw this thing, I think it was on YouTube or maybe it was Twitter, I don't know. But it was this guy telling this story, and he's like, for years, the title of the prompt was, "What have you been doing for years that you just found out was a completely stupid thing to be doing?" And this guy goes, "Well, for years I've worked like the night shift, and I get off at like 2 in the morning, so I get home at like 2:30, 3 in the morning. And when I lock my car, the horn goes off, and so I didn't want to be annoying to my neighbors, so I waited until I got around the corner and at my front door before I locked it. That way, the horn wasn't as loud." He's like, "I just now real," and then the story goes on and goes, "But one day when I was getting out of my car, I accidentally hit it twice, and the horn was super loud, and that's when it finally clicked for me that all these years it was only quieter because I had walked away from the
Oh my
car. It
god.
was still parked next to my neighbor's driveway or neighbor's house." I was like,
Oh
"Oh
my
my
lord.
gosh." That's some
I
stuff
I
you
was
would do.
I had to leave for work the other day at, it was, 4 in the morning, like 4:30, AM. And my I guess something hit my key the wrong way in my purse, and I have a key fob. My alarm started going off for 3 minutes straight. It would not turn off. I clicked every fucking button on my thing. I was pressing the like the stop panic button, like unlocking, lock every fucking button. It would not go off. I was like, "What is wrong with you? It
Did
is
you
4 in the
what'd you
morning."
do?
It just I think I hit the alarm button, like, I shifted my purse when I was leaving and it hit the alarm button, but it just wouldn't turn off, like, my car does that a lot. The electronics are a little weird in it sometimes. Um, Jeeps, man, apparently there's not much you can do.
You should be able to just hit lock like 2 or 3 times and it'll quiet that it'll turn off.
Maybe I should try 3 'cause, like, I did it twice and everything, and it took so long. I was embarrassed.
Yeah, it's usually hitting the same button multiple times, not hitting all the buttons that does it.
Yeah, it turned off eventually. I don't remember what I did to do it, but it turned off, and God, our neighbors have patience.
I mean,
Also,
they live in an apartment complex, they'll get over it.
no, we got a new neighbor. He still has
Yeah,
not
it's really
gotten rid of
fast.
those boxes.
I would honestly, there's okay, so we have a trash service in our apartment complex, and you leave, it's they come by like 4 times a week. There's like certain days they come by, and if you leave a bag of trash like right outside your door, they'll come by and pick it up and take it to the dumpster. So like if if you fill up a bag of trash, you can just leave it there. You don't have to walk all the way to the dumpsters. But they only do that, 4 days a week, and they only do it for 1 bag of trash per like apartment. If there's like 6 bags of trash there, if there's oversized stuff, they don't take it. So our neighbor straight across from us just moved in. He had a sofa and a big TV delivered to his house, and they came in giant cardboard boxes, and he put them right outside of the apartment, like in between our door and his.
It
And so
easily blocks like half the hallway.
yeah, they've been there for a week now. They're the trash company. They're not going to take those. Honestly, if I were you, just send a message to the maintenance guys and be like, "Hey, this guy's left these boxes out here. No one's picking them up. Like, what do we? Can you talk to him or something? You know what I mean?" I would send that. I'd be like, you guys need to let him know that trash service doesn't pick up all this crap.
Yeah, maybe I'll call them when I'm at work tomorrow because I don't think he's gonna get it.
Yeah, it's blocking half the hallway, and I'm like, man, after a week, you got to think, hey, maybe I shouldn't just leave these here. Like, come on, man.
I haven't seen him since like
He's
that one
no,
time.
I guarantee he works from home because like he opened the door at on like a Wednesday when he got delivered. He opened the door at like Wednesday at like 2 p.m. and he was like in gym shorts and no shirt on, and I could see a computer screen in the background. So either that man like he does something at home, like working
Our
on
last
some
neighbor worked from
computers.
home too.
It's a promising world we're living in where more people are working from
Yeah.
home. That's all I'm saying. Like I am all about it, and you see those articles all the time. They're like, "This is why you're killing the real estate industry because it's really bad that you're not going to an office." But like, no, that's just because you guys built a bunch of infrastructure built around offices. That's on you guys.
Yeah, like, I keep seeing those articles where they're like, the like, building industry for offices is failing or whatever because millennials wanna work from home, and it's like, why is that our fucking problem, dude?
Yeah, like that's on you guys for and then they're like, "Oh, here's studies that here's a 5 reasons why people work less at home." And you're like, "No, every like scientific study and actual study has proven that working from home increases productivity and so does a 4-day work week, but oh gosh, we really don't want to do that cuz it'd be too much of a change to this industry that we live in."
Plus, like, it's a free market, babe. You guys wanted capitalism. We decided we wanna work from home. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, right.
I've even seen, like, articles on of people talking on, like, Reddit, like, on I'm in the, like, anti-work Reddit, subreddit, um, and people talk about it a lot, how, like, when their companies tried to force them to go back from into the office, they either, like, straight up quit their jobs or they found a job that would let them stay working from home, so
Even with Activision, like we're testing, video games, and they were like, "Oh, we need to go back to the office," and people were like, "Well, why?" And they're like, "Well, it's a security risk." And we're like, "Has anything been leaked from any of the teams that are working from home?" They're like, "Well, no." We're like, "Well, then it's not really a security risk, is it?" And they're like, first of all, and second of all, they gave these reasons and all this and that, and what they ended up doing, they're like, "Okay, well, we're gonna give you like as a hybrid work schedule. So now it's like 2 days or 3 days in the office and 2 days at home, and you're like, crazy how it still works. Like, I think the only benefit to being in the office was being able to talk with people next to me about the things like the bugs and things that I was seeing. Because I could be like, "Hey, I'm looking at this. Can you check a look at it real quick?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's this issue." Like it's a lot easier to do that in person, but it's not impossible to do it at home. On a Zoom call, it'd just be like, "Hey, I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys take a look at this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see what you got." Like it wasn't any more difficult. It was just an extra couple like buttons that you had to press.
Yeah, and you're tech savvy, that's kind of the point, right?
You're right. Like if you have idiots working at home that don't know how to work computers, yeah, bring them back to the office so you can teach them some stuff. But other than that, like does it really matter? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wanna know something fun about the weather lately?
It's been hot?
It's been hot. We have broken records, like 30 plus days straight with 100 plus temps, and
Yep,
now
we're
it's
on day
windy.
33, I think is what it is, of being over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's crazy
Yeah,
amazing.
and now it's windy with no rain in sight, and the fire hazard has gone up a lot, and I'm like, "Wow, what a
Oh
time to
yeah.
be
But
alive."
don't worry. This winter we're going to freeze. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
I saw that report as well. It was like states like Texas and stuff like that, like, expect a really wet, cold, frozen winter. I'm like, "Okay."
Yup. I forget who I told. One maybe it was one of the maintenance guys when we moved in or something like that. When they were explaining about like the rules and all that stuff, where they were like, "Oh yeah, 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 you can't use the fireplace." And I'm like, "Listen, if it's winter and the power's out and there's no heat, I will build a fire. I will rearrange my entire apartment so that it's centered around me having a fire. And when you guys come over, you can have a s'more. All right, like that's."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to open the chimney, so I don't wanna, like, die of carbon monoxide poisoning, but if you know how to do all that, I'm down.
It's just not difficult. Like unless they cemented the or like sealed the actual chimney, which I doubt they did because
It
there's
did
still
not.
grates in there. Like there's
Well,
no reason
also,
you
there
can't
was
just
that family of
let it.
squirrels living in there.
Yeah, that too. You know what I mean? Like I will very easily just be like, you know what, I'm building the fire. Even if the fire is outside, it's still gonna be better than sitting inside with no heat.
That's true. Just go to work, like, I got heat there.
Or we'll just go get a bunch of those packs of candles from IKEA and just light candles all over the apartment. That way you have light and it warms it up in there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Well, gotta make sure we have our emergency bag packed, I guess.
You say that like I don't stock up on things and then you just use them anyway. Like I stocked up on water and you were just like, "Oh, perfect." And then drank all the bottled water and I was like, "All right, but why didn't you use the filtered water in the fridge?" And you were like, "Oh, it's more convenient." I'm like, "Thanks. Thanks for that. Guess we'll just not buy water anymore." And guess what? You haven't bought water since then.
No. I try not to use too much plastic, but you're right, we should get that restocked.
It's not using plastic. You buy it and then you let it sit there. It doesn't go bad for years. What do you mean?
That is true. Plus, we should talk about our emergency plan, like, if there's, like, an emergency and we're not together, like, where do we meet?
What do you mean? Just call me. How about that? What do you What
Well, what if,
do you
like, cell
mean where do
towers are
we
down?
meet? What do you mean where do we meet? Where are you gonna go? You disappearing off the edge of the planet? Like
I
where are
don't
you
know, like,
going?
like, if there's, like, a severe weather event, we have to evacuate, where would we meet if we weren't
How
together?
about you text right before that and be like, "Hey, it's coming from like southeast. I'm gonna go northeast." Like you
Yeah,
can't plan for that. There's a tornado coming from northeast, but our plan was to go northeast. Guess I'll go. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
yeah. On a slightly darker
So
note,
dumb.
did you see all the fires in Maui?
There's fires everywhere. Why is Maui special? Like fires are fires. They're everywhere.
No, but
Crazy.
it's, like, the worst in their history, like, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the village, but it's, like, completely burnt down. Let me see if I can find something about it.
I don't know. I guarantee there's a lot of stuff like that. Do you know what I learned recently? The world's largest herd of camels lives in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, so apparently European settlers brought in camels in like the late 1800s in order to help them cross the desert and the outback because horses couldn't survive in the heat and that long journey.
Mhm.
But the herd of camels has grown so large that every year they cause $10 million worth of damage to property and fence
What?
lines because they walk through fences.
I want
They
a
don't
movie about
care.
that.
They walk through fences. They don't care. They've also had a huge impact on the environment because they consume and store so much water that they have like dried up entire like watering holes that have been used for like irrigation and like all sorts of stuff. So
So why haven't they culled them?
what they do is every year they fly they get in a helicopter and they shoot camels from a helicopter. They literally just shoot them. And like they say they leave half of them for the like wildlife to consume, like the
Mhm.
whatever, predators and are out there, and then they take the other half for animal and not human consumption back in, wherever. But that's why I was like, every year they just go around and cull like I think a third of this herd. But the population of camels can double. They said every what was it, like 8 months to like a year and a half. It can like
Damn.
almost double
How
because of how
quickly
fast
do
they go
camels
and stuff. I'm like,
reproduce?
gosh darn, I don't know. I mean, actually, let me
I'm
look.
about to Google some real weird
How
shit right
quickly
now.
can camels drink water? No,
Camel reproduction. Their
reproduce. Let's
estrus
see.
cycle is about 13 to 40 days, and
Yep.
gestation is about a year to a year and a half.
Which gives them two offspring. So they can reproduce once every 2 years, but they get up to two. So, like, if half of them,
They get up to 2. Here is
yeah,
your 2
they get up to
2
two.
camels.
They get up to, so you know what I'm saying though? Like,
Meiosis.
if half of them are female and they get offspring or two, two offspring, you've doubled the camels already. Like, you're doubling the population. So
Damn.
it's crazy.
What if camels took over the world?
That's fine too. I don't care.
I know we talked about aliens last week, but what would be, like, your favorite kinda alien? Like, what kinda alien do you wanna meet?
Do I want to? What do you mean? Do I want to be? That's a very different
Meet.
question than what's your
You
favorite
wanna
kind of
meet.
alien. You said be. Don't even
Meet.
try.
What kind of alien do you wanna meet?
I don't want to eat aliens.
Meet. Like, if you met them, like, what kinda alien do you think would be the coolest?
The kind that doesn't kill us all instantly. How about that one?
I
Like
mean, so far, we've got a good track record
we so far we've been
that we
around
know
for
of.
like a microsecond in the terms of like the universe. It's not a great track record. It's like, oh well, we didn't die in the first one millionth of the time that we've been here, so perfect. Like we're doing so good.
I hope they're kind aliens.
Yeah, I bet the last aliens that came here killed all the dinosaurs. So, there's that.
Okay, I saw a fact about the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs the other day. The asteroid was so large that when it impacted Earth, it sent dinosaurs to the moon. Like, there are chunks of dinosaur on the
I
moon.
I don't believe that they have found dinosaur
Like,
fossils on the
fossil no,
moon.
like, they have. They
Dude,
found, like,
let
fragments and
me
things like
hold
that.
on, hold on, hold on. Let me let me look this up. Hold on. Fossils on the moon. Let me see. There seems to be a chance of remains. An author proposed that because the Earth rock was found on the moon, it'd be possible to find remains of on the moon. So they found a rock from Earth on the moon, which doesn't prove a whole lot because the moon was originally part of Earth, by the way. Like
Okay, well, the video I saw was very convincing.
there has been no dinosaur DNA discovered of any kind in space. It's likely they beat us to the moon.
Or is that what the government wants us to
Oh
believe?
my gosh. Are there dinosaur fossils on the moon?
Conspiracy!
Yeah, like they may have been there when like the moon split off from Earth, but they didn't then no one has found dinosaur bones on the moon.
Okay, I was wrong. The video was very
Back
convincing.
up. Yeah, I bet. Not like the impact of that meteor that hit the Earth, that was very large. Yes, you got that one right. It killed almost everything. Like, it killed lots of
75% of all
stuff.
species.
Yes, like, it killed a lot of stuff, but it didn't
Mostly birds.
send them flying to the moon. Have you seen pictures of the shoebill stork?
The what?
Shoebill stork, alright? Look, just Google it and look at the pictures. It is the closest living animal to a dinosaur. Just look at this dude. Look at a shoebill stork. Have you looked it up?
No, I just the way you're describing it's really funny.
It is the closest living species, to dinosaur DNA. Like, it clicks like a raptor.
Yeah, well, why is, like, one of the top search 14 menacing shoebill stork facts?
I don't know about menacing, but, like, if you listen
Menacing.
to it, it clicks like a dinosaur. Like, it'll click its beak together, and you're like, what is happening?"
Is it scary?
Google it. Go ahead and look.
Well, I don't wanna listen to it right now because 'cause we're doing this, but
Oh,
I'm
I'm no, I
looking at
meant
it.
just Google the pictures. Like, look at those pictures. That thing's a dinosaur. It stands still for hours at a time in, like, shallow pools, waits for fish to come by, and then just snatches them and eats them. It's super cool. If you walk by one and it's sitting still, it'll look like it's a stuffed animal because you won't be able to tell that it's
Yeah.
like it's
This
alive.
article says,
It's
"They
super
can
cool.
also be extremely cute and almost cartoon-like. They have striking pale blue-eyed genes, which can make them appear not really real."
Enters the room sounding like a machine gun?
Apparently, it's
No
one of the
way.
slowest flying bird at a mere 150 flaps per minute.
Yeah, they don't fly very fast. I mean, they walk pretty much everywhere. Like, I've never seen one fly. So, I mean, I
They have the third longest beak in the world, which enables them to hunt extremely large prey, even baby crocodiles. I would be
this
such
one's
a great, like, AI voice.
this one just says the shoebill
Well,
machine gun noise, scariest bird
what?
sound.
Well, that makes sense because it says the razor sharp edges of its beak allow it to decapitate prey
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
God, that's fucking damn, nature, you scary.
It's usually part of a greeting to other shoebills or mating. All right.
It's an ambush predator.
Dude, it's so creepy that sound. Oh my gosh, I just listened to it. It does sound like a
Yeah,
gun almost.
it does say
Oof.
they clatter their bills, which sounds like a machine gun during
Yeah.
courtship or greeting.
Yup. I'll put a little clip of it in. It's
I'm gonna
super
mute
fun.
myself for a second and listen to this. That doesn't sound real.
I know,
What?
right? I'd sound so
It
like a
sounds like Jurassic Park.
yeah, you're like, "Da, da, 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 da." You're like, "What is that?"
It's like
It sounds like they're clicking almost like the raptors in Jurassic Park.
Oh,
It's
man. It's
very, it's
it
very
also says
off-putting.
it says they can make cow-like moo noises too.
I'm telling you, man, dinosaur, like
Oh, they often
oh my
bully,
gosh.
fight, and kill their siblings when they're a few weeks old.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen more than, like, 1, maybe 2 in an enclosure, and even then, they're, like, the mating pair, you know?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, did you see, do you
crazy.
know that guy that, like, trademarked or, like, monopolized what was it? That super, like, deep black color, was it Vanta Black?
Vanta Black, yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that
he
guy.
got banned from using the pinkest pink.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so he also, like, he was like, "No one can look at this, no one can talk about the color," right? Like, because it's his color. Anyway, so
Okay,
scientists just discovered, I think they said it was like 20, around 20 species that live so far down in the ocean that they are so dark that they absorb 99.99% of light. And they kept using this guy's name in the posts, not the scientists, but like people making memes about it. They were making jokes about it. They're like, "Oh, don't look at my animals. They're they're too black for you to look at. You can't look at them anymore.
Ugh.
You can't use them in your in your studies anymore because they're the wrong color black for you. It was so funny. They were just mentioning this guy over and over, Ben. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. Did we monopolize this color? Our bad.
Yeah, so Anish Kapoor cannot listen to this podcast.
Yes, that's his name. I forgot the name entirely.
I
But yes.
googled it just to say, "You can't listen to this
Yeah,
podcast."
yeah, that's the one. That's Anish Kapoor. It's like the yeah,
What
it
was it
was.
about?
I saw it on Reddit. They find 16 ultra scientists found 16 ultra black fish species that absorb 99.9% of light. And somebody on Tumblr said, "You're not allowed to look at this fish on behalf of Arish Kapoor. By
Yeah.
looking at this fish, you certify that you are not Arish Kapoor. You are not associate of Arish Kapoor, and you are not planning to describe this fish later to Arish Kapoor or an associate of Arish." I thought
Oh,
it
is it
was so funny.
Arish?
I don't know.
I thought it was
Anish?
Anish.
Anish, whatever it was. I don't care. It's illegal for Anish Kapoor to look at this fish.
Well, you saying Tumblr reminded me. It would be a podcast
Uh,
episode if I didn't talk about Taylor Swift.
I'm okay with that.
Because she just announced 1989
And that's gonna
Taylor's
do it for
version.
us this week. We're gonna have another.
Yay!
What do you want? What?
I
What do
was
you want?
asleep. I woke up to this news. She announced it at one of her
Oh no!
concerts. She got 1989 Taylor's versions coming out in October.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Like, is
I
that a
I
good?
told you
Is
about
that
the
a
Taylor's version,
thing?
like,
I
she's
don't.
the re-recording she's doing. Um, so she is now 2 albums away from owning all of her music. So with this one, or no, 3. With this one, she'll have 2 more to oh, no,
Is
wait,
that
3?
is
3
that the
more
name
albums
of
to
an
release.
album? That the year a song came out? That
Yeah, the
I
name
don't
of
know
the
what that
album is
is.
1989. It
Okay.
is, the one that launched her career to, like, incredible heights, like, uh, it was the one that she shifted to a completely pop, sound, and it she's one of the only female artists at the time to had gotten 3 albums to over 1,000,000 sales in, like, 1 week. Like, she broke all sorts of records. Like, it was a really great time for her. So now for her to re-release this
Oh
album
yeah,
and
I'm so
own
proud.
it is awesome, you know?
Ooh, I'm so happy for the millionaire that is killing the planet. Love it.
Hey, I mean, so far she seems to be the only ethical millionaire I've seen. Like, I
No,
saw did you
no, the
see
hell she is not. All right. Did you look at the amount that she travels in her
Yes, I
private
did.
jet? She traveled in her private jet to a different country because she said that she wanted to go get fucking like like go to a cafe in fucking France. Like, that's not ethical anything. She's killing the planet because she wants
That's not
coffee.
that was a different
Who
celebrity. That was,
cares?
like, Kylie Jenner.
It's the
But she
same
does use
shit.
her
She
private jet
flies
a
around
lot.
all the time instead of
But
just driving.
did you see other musicians are angry at her for giving truckers bonuses and said that they shouldn't expect
Oh,
that in the
who
future?
cares? So what? That
I
is on
care.
them.
It is something I
Like,
care about.
it's a good thing that she did it. If nobody else wants to do it, that's on them. Like, it's who cares? Like, that's a problem for other artists. It's great that she did it. I'm glad that she's being philanthropic with money and charitable and whatnot, and rewarding people for working and everything. Like, we've already tried it. It's happened in America. It happened, like Henry Ford tried it, and then he got told to fuck off. You're not doing that anymore. And that's how America was born. Like,
Yeah, oh, was it?
yeah. Did you not know that? Okay, so
What?
Henry Ford,
No.
after their first couple years of building cars, they had such a surplus of income that Henry Ford decided that he would raise all of his salary or employees' salaries and give them all bonuses. And he was sued by the stockholders of the company, saying that it was his responsibility to give them that money and reinvest it into the stock itself so that they could get paid out and that their investment would be worth it. Right. Now it went to one of the like it went to like a state Supreme Court, and they ruled that that corporations have an obligation to pay stockholders first with any excess like income or surplus, whatever. And that is the basis like of all like American corporations is they pay stockholders
Uh,
first and they say fuck the people who worked and made it possible. Now, you want to know a little fun fact about who actually led that lawsuit? It was the Dodge brothers, the ones who owned Dodge. They owned stock in the Ford Motor Company and sued and sued Henry Ford when he tried to give away money that they thought would be theirs. So really, Dodge, Ford tried to save their employees and give them some money, and Dodge said, "Nope, we're going to take it." And that is
Damn.
how they ruined America.
Thanks for the history lesson. I didn't know that.
Sure, I learned that like yesterday. So
Oh. Well, did you watch, like, a video or something?
yeah, I saw a little short documentary on it.
Oh, nice. I haven't watched, like, any cool documentaries.
Yeah, that was like that set the precedent for all companies to pay stockholders first, and basically now stockholders have all the power, and then Wall Street and all that fun stuff. Really, really just informative stuff, really.
The last documentary I
So,
watched was
like,
about the
yes,
Titanic.
people are mad at Taylor Swift for giving out money to truckers and whatnot, but she doesn't have stockholders, so it's kind of why she was able to do it.
Well, yeah, and, her tour is generating so much money. I saw an article about it today that said, if she canceled a single show, it would depress the economy in that city.
Well, yeah, because there's no one is spending money on unnecessary things unless it's like a once in a lifetime thing of like, oh, she's coming to do the Eras tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
she's
it
literally, like,
there's
preventing a recession right now.
people are keeping money because it's hard to survive and live, but they're like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. Let's go to it and spend some money on it. And everyone's, got that same mindset. So they're like, it'll be fun. Like
They have to
that's
get
kind of what's
hotels, spend
happening.
money on food, like,
Right, right, right. Pay like $100 for an Uber to cancel because you're in the wrong parking lot.
bro, that shit, pissed me off. But it's fine. It was a good night.
It's fine.
Well, then the fiasco with FedEx not delivering my album.
That
I
is
got it on
entirely
Amazon for
separate.
cheaper anyways. It wasn't the one I wanted, like, it's a different color, but first world problems, I still have the album.
Oh no. What a shame.
Yeah, so
All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for us this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Mindless Prattle. If you did, make sure you head on over to our website, leave a review, comment, suggestions, whatever you want to do. Share us with
if
a
you
friend.
didn't,
We always
the same
appreciate it.
thing.
Whichever one. But I hope you had fun. I know we did, and we will see you next time.
Bye.